I'm 25F, dating for the first time in my life and my dad, 62M, is kinda freaking out about it. A little long, but please help me out. For context, this is the first time in my life I've ever dated. I was raised with no dating and no sex rules from high school all the way to 25, the age I went, fuck it, worked and saved for a year and moved out. None of us are religious, too. So I've been in my own place now for almost a year now, and I've began to date. At first it was simple coffee and restaurant dates, just to get my feet wet. No sex. Had my first kiss on a third date with a nice guy, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. But whenever I meet up with my parents and tell them about my dating life, I can tell my dad doesn't like it. Like at one time at lunch, and I gave a brief mention of it, and my dad went, in a half-joking way, but obviously still bothered by the news. My mom was slightly more open, but you can tell she was still concerned, and they emphasized, well, you're a young woman now and you should just be safe. Well, eventually, I found a good guy, became BF, GF. Told my mom, who told my dad, and next time we met up, and my new boyfriend came up in conversation, my dad had the same reaction. This time with less joking and now with a dose of interrogation about who this guy was. My mom offered to meet the boyfriend, dinner, but I declined since we'd only been together as BF girlfriend for 3 weeks. You could tell my dad was conflicted on whether he wanted to meet this guy or not, like asking me, why are you hiding him? When I declined, but acting like, shrugs, sure, whatever, when my mom wanted him to meet. This was also the guy the first lost my virginity to, and of course I didn't tell them that, but it also added to the unease with the unsaid knowing among us that this was a sexual relationship as well. Anyway, 6 months, guy and I broke up amicably. Took a break from dating, few months later, met another guy who I'm still with and I love to bits. Parents haven't met him yet, but there are plans to and they've seen pictures, etc. Similar reactions from my dad, a little bit worse actually, because now this is my second guy in a row. To that point, my dad and I were having an argument about something unrelated, and he threw out there in the middle of it, don't think you know everything now, especially because you got dick in you and now you feel like you're grown and you don't have to listen to common sense. Quote. Not to mention the other times my mom has shared with me in the past over the phone about how my dad feels and is coming around to my new dating life. She softened his comments, but essentially said how he's shown concern and made disappointed comments about how I've been with so many men already and I need to be more focused on my life. I have a career I enjoy and pursue my interests outside of work with pleasure. I mean, why is he acting this way? Too long did not read. Exclamation mark. Dating and having sex for the first time at 25 and my dad is uncomfortable with it and making snide comments. What the hell? That was a super ugly thing your dad said to you about getting dick in you, and the, how many men you've been with crap it's too for the love of God. I wouldn't share any more personal information with them or bring my boyfriend over there. Yuck. Sounds like your dad resents that he can't control you anymore. It also sounds like he generally doesn't respect you, at least not as an adult. He's likely treated you like this in many ways, but this issue is just the most obvious. It's unlikely you can change his mind. I always recommend seeking out a therapist, even for just a few visits, in order to navigate this really intense relationship with him. It sounds like although he found a partner and person to love, he doesn't want you to have the same thing, so the best thing you can do is come up with a plan for how to include him in your life but still shielding yourself in some ways from someone who doesn't respect you. Not only is he trying to control you, his language is majorly creepy. I'd stay away for a bit, and definitely keep you significant other away from them. WTF is with your dad? That comment is weird. That's a really sick comment to make. I wouldn't tell them anything about my life at that point and distance myself. You're 25, you can do what you want. Your dad is disgusting, but also why are you telling them so much? I wouldn't bring up a boyfriend unless it was really serious. While you might have a dick in you, your dad has a whole stick up his ass. I was willing to give your dad some grace until that ghastly comment. You are a fully fledged adult. This is ridiculous. Do not tolerate abuse from him. Get up and walk away. He has lost the privilege of knowing about your life. I'm so sorry.